Hi, everyone. Welcome back to AudioZine. Or if you're new here, welcome in. I'm your host, Star. Lovely to meet you all. I'm so happy to be here. A little bit of a different angle this time. We've switched it up a little bit, but that is on purpose. I am currently moving. Woohoo! So exciting. But my house is currently a disaster. So if you are watching this instead of just listening to it, you will see that it looks a little bit different now. All of my belongings are making their ways into cardboard boxes, and it's very weird to just like no longer be in your own space. You're kind of in a it's a weird transitionary phase from packing up your entire life to actually being into your new place. And right now I'm in that transitionary phase, and it's just so odd. Like, what happened to my space? Where did all the fun and all the color go? All there is broken down furniture and cardboard boxes. I actually hate moving so much. It is something that I absolutely dread doing. Absolutely dread it. I moved around a lot when I was younger. We moved about every 2 to 3 years, I would say. We moved from Tennessee to Alabama to Florida to Alabama, and then I moved back to Tennessee, and I've kind of been jumping around Middle Tennessee since then. And as much as I hate moving, I do it pretty consistently. I think the thing I hate most about moving is the uprooting of it all. Right when I start to feel safe and comfortable in a space, oh, here it goes. Here comes the cardboard boxes again. Here we go again, packing everything up. And I think this is indicative of two separate things. The first one being a fear of change, and the second one being a fear of instability. The fear of change is an interesting concept to come across because I think it comes from the instability I experienced in my childhood where nothing was stable. So now I crave stability, but at the same time, I keep running and moving and changing all the things around me. I think while I fear instability and change, I fear comfortability more. The comfortability of stability doesn't feel entirely safe yet. It takes me a very long time to feel like a place is my home. And it's to the point that right when it does, it might be about time for me to move again. I think there's another fear here. It's not just instability and change, it's also comfort. The second things get too comfortable, I have noticed a pattern within myself that I tend to run away almost immediately. It's almost like I want to cause chaos in my life because it is what feels natural. It is what I'm used to. That's where the comfort is. The comfort is in the instability. The comfort lies in the ever changingness of my life because there hasn't been a moment of stability leading up until now. I moved around a lot as a kid, even before the couple years stretches. I was moving every couple of weeks between homes. There were custody battles between my parents, so I was going in between houses a lot. And if it wasn't their houses, it was other relatives' houses I was going to. I never had a place to call specifically home for an extended period of time. It always felt like I wasn't allowed to settle into where I was because it would all be gone at a moment's notice. And I believe that that is carrying into my adult life. I was having a session with my therapist. It was a virtual session, and she could see my bedroom in the back. And she asked me about the lack of decorations in my room. And I remember telling her how I didn't want to hang things up just to have to take them down. I didn't want to decorate just to have to rip everything down. And that's when she led into the conversation of asking me about the instability I experienced in my childhood. I never allowed myself to feel comfortable out of risk of it being almost karma. The second I allow myself to feel comfortable and safe in a space, I believe that it's going to be ripped away from me. So if I never feel comfortable, if I never allow myself to settle, then the impact when it is taken away won't be as sharp. But now, big moves are happening over here in the Star House. I am getting an apartment all on my own for the first time. And I am so unbelievably excited about it. I'm so excited. I am very proud of myself for all of the hard work that I've done up until now that has led me to be able to live the life that I currently live. I've been working full time since I was 16 years old. The second I turned 18, I immediately went to go work overnights in a warehouse simply so that I could make money and I could work hard and I could do these things. And now I work a corporate job making really good money. I'm salaried. It is amazing. I love my job. I'm so excited to be in my new place. And I think one thing that makes it even sweeter, just the cherry on top, is that I get to say that I did it all on my own. I'm so incredibly proud of myself. It is so wonderful to see hard work pay off. Another way that I'm seeing hard work pay off in my life is through my photography. I have been doing concert photography for roughly about 3 years, I think. Not entirely sure. I'll do the math another time. But I've been doing concert photography for a couple years now, and I have finally built up a worthy enough portfolio, gained worthy enough gear. I'm still not at the place I want to be, but photography is not exactly a cheap hobby. So we are saving up for some pretty advanced gear. Super exciting. But I've worked hard enough within this passion of mine that now I am getting photo passes to bigger venues. I am being able to shoot bigger bands. I'm becoming a house photographer, meaning I work for the venue. I'm building a name for myself. It's so wonderful to just see plainly right in front of you that it all was worth something in the end. And we're not even at the end. We've just started. It was all worth it. All the hardships that came along with it, all the doubts, it was just a means to get through it. And I'm through the hardest part, and that's getting started. Now I'm moving up and I'm moving big time. Very, 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 very excited. Very proud of myself. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for me in a matter of my career, in a matter of my passions, in a matter of my photography. Right now is probably the most stable my life has ever been. And it's been a little bit of a reckoning that because my life was so chaotic for so long, it was incredibly hard for me to enjoy life. Every day was fight or flight. Every day was survival, it felt like. And now that life is no longer a game of survival, I'm learning lots of things about myself. I've always loved art, but now I am drawing more and more and more and more and more. And it is so exciting. Another thing I'm also learning is just how much I love to sing. I've been doing lots of covers of lots of my favorite songs recently. I've only posted one, but maybe I'll post some more. As I talked about in the last episode, there's just a level of a lack of confidence there that I am trying to work on. And like I said then, the only way to get past that fear and that lack of confidence is to do it. So I'm just going to keep singing and I'm going to keep posting more videos of me doing that to help boost my confidence with it because I really love it. I feel the same way about the art that I do. The more that I post it, the less insecure I will be and the less I will compare myself to other artists that I know. I think one big life lesson that I have come to the realization of recently is that the louder you are about yourself, the happier you will be. Be proud of yourself. Put that artwork out there. Post that photo. Post that video. Do that thing. You're going to be so grateful for it in the future that you did the damn thing. because you really do set yourself up for a level of success within yourself to allow yourself to be vulnerable with others and to show off who you are. It's really a bigger deal than people let on. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there. You should be proud of yourself. You think that photo looks good, you should post it because more likely than not, other people are going to agree. We doubt ourselves a lot more than we need to. Back to what I was saying earlier, I don't believe comfort means stability. We find comfort in the things that are so familiar to us. And that familiarity isn't always a good thing. Your comfort doesn't mean you're happy. It means it's familiar. And sometimes the exact thing you need to do is to break out of that comfort zone. One big way I'm doing that is by moving. Every time I moved, I had to completely uproot my life. I had to do a complete start over when I was younger. I would move to a new state, I would start at a new school. I had to make all new friends. I had to start over completely. I would lose everything every single time. So now with this move, it's a little triggering almost. And I don't like to just throw that word around, but it's almost triggering. I have this anxiety within me that almost makes me feel as if I am about to lose everything simply because I am moving. And that's it. It's just the fact that I'm packing up boxes and I'm moving to the other side of the city. I'm not going to disclose where I'm moving to, but on the internet at the very least. But there is that anxiety there about how it just feels as if I'm going to lose everything. And it's taking a lot of rational brain power to remind myself that no, we're not even starting over. It's just different scenery, just a new spot, just a new crib. That's it. Nothing else in life will change except a shorter drive to work, which will be awesome. A part of this anxiety might come from that in between phase that I was talking about. The typical routines are completely disrupted right now. There isn't that usual, okay, come home, do this, do that. There's no more of that. Not right now at the very least, and not for a little while. And that can cause some anxiety because life is changing. And again, there's a big fear of change. I feel almost disconnected from myself and who I am. It's almost like it's not just me physically that is in this literal in between moving phase. It feels as if there is an in between phase in my identity and like who I am on the inside. And that may be because of my past where I had to completely uproot my life. And each time I did, I had to decide who I am as a person. Who would I be? Who would I be to this new place? Who would I be to these new people within my life? Who was Star? Was Star did Star go by Star? What did Star like? What does Star like to do? What is Star good at? How much of myself did I want to allow these people to know? So it feels as if it's not just this transition with me physically. It feels as if there's a transition within me internally as well. And that can be kind of daunting to feel. Even though there won't be any literal changes into who I am as a human, I just think it's a little reminiscent of when I was younger. There's also this big gap about romanticizing the things that are going on in life versus reality. I'll admit, I romanticized the moving process a lot. I think my excitement almost got the better of me. Almost. It didn't, but almost. There was so much excitement around this transition in my life. Fear, yes, but definitely more excitement than fear. That I almost disconnected myself from the reality of it all. Like, I didn't start packing until like 2 days ago. I move in 2 days. Mind you, I don't own a lot of things, so packing is really easy. And also, I didn't unpack for the most part when I moved into here. So, a lot of my stuff is in containers and stuff still. So, it's still really easy to move. But like today, I put down deposits for my renter's insurance and my electricity. And on Friday, I'm going to put down the deposit for my apartment so that I can pick up my keys. And it all hit me today after work when I was doing all of this stuff that, whoa, this is very, very real. And there is a lot more stressors around this that I was pushing down and pushing away so that I wouldn't have to feel how stressful this was. I let excitement blind me from the stress of it all. And because I allowed that, today it hit me like a freaking freight train. I was sitting in my car after work. I had just gotten off the phone with the electric company, and I just had to do a couple deep breaths in and out because I realized how drained I was because I didn't anticipate how stressful this would be. I just allowed myself to be excited about it all. So all at once, everything, all the emotions that should have been building up for the past couple weeks hit me all at once while I was sitting in my car in the work parking lot. Excitement is still good though. I might have just went on a little bit of a tangent about how I allowed my excitement to blind me, but excitement is still good. Excitement is anticipatory. I would rather feel more excited than stress. Stress happens. Life is stressful. Stress was inevitable. I only felt the way I did because I kept pushing it away and not allowing myself to feel it in the moment. There is some romanticizing that can be done. Like, what will my first night look like in the new place? How will I decorate? What is my first couch gonna look like? What posters am I gonna hang on the wall? I had this idea of doing like a gallery wall. If you don't know what those are, probably look it up because I'm gonna explain it pretty poorly, but it's like a collection of photos and art on a specific wall, and it's just a big chunk of your wall that has a ton of art and photos in it. And I was thinking about making almost a scrapbook wall where I take photos over the years and just plaster them across one wall, all haphazard like, where depending on where you look, you'll see a random moment in time that was important to me. I think doing something like that will make the place feel more like a home and less like a house. I think the hardest part about change isn't the decision to make the change. It's living with that change. It's the aftermath of it all. Because once you make the decision, you have to live it. You can't go back on it, especially if it's a big decision like moving. Can't just go back on that. And you have to adjust in real time. You have to adapt to change in real time. And I think that might be one of the hardest parts about it. You can't prepare for it. You can't rehearse for it. It's real time events and you have to react in real time. That's one of the hardest parts for sure. There's no preparing. There's only go. And you have to hope that you make the right decision. And in that aftermath, you have your reflection period where you are thinking about all of the choices you made and you're sitting with them. And then comes the doubt. Did I make the right decision? What if I did this instead? I should have done this. I should have done that. What if I did this? What if I did that? It can be a very overwhelming experience to change, to experience change. The best thing that you can do is to not allow yourself to what if. The best thing you can do is to tell yourself, all right, the decision is made. Now we live it. And you just face anything that comes at you when it comes at you. But there's no point in stressing yourself out about the what ifs of it all when the what ifs might not even happen. So while change is terrifying, it's better to let yourself experience life in the moment rather than stressing about the future of it all. Instead, that's when you can allow yourself to be excited. Definitely allow yourself to feel the stress. Don't coop it up like I did. But allow yourself to experience that excitement about this change in your life because it is exciting. New beginnings. New things. What will you do with it? A fresh start or a new beginning allows you to hold so much power in your own life because it's at that point you get to make any decision possible. It's very daunting, but at the same time, very thrilling. You hold all the power to your own life in your own hands. I really like the idea of that. I will admit there's a lot of pressure with that as well, though. There's a thrill to it, but there is a pressure. And it would be unjust of me to ignore that. There's a deep, immense pressure to make the perfect right decision. But that begs the question if the perfect decision exists or not. And if the perfect decision doesn't exist, then what is the point of pressurizing yourself? Allow yourself to live freely and happily. Allow yourself to be excited about the things that are going to change in your life. Imagine the new beginnings of it all. Imagine the freshness of it all. Don't allow yourself to inhibit the good things that may come into your life due to change out of fear. That fear being change, that fear being instability, that fear being comfort like me. Don't stop yourself from being happy out of a fear of being happy. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure you follow and like so that you can follow along with this continuous journey. Let me know what you think of this down in the comments, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you guys later.